This is Talk Business and Politics with Roby Brock.
And thank you for joining us. I'm Roby Brock. Welcome to the program. It's been a busy week at the state capitol, and likely we'll see lawmakers return home early next week. One can hope. Joining me to talk politics is Talk Business and Politics contributor Michael Cook of Cook Consulting and Richard Bearden, principal with Impact Management Group. Michael, former executive director of the Democratic Party of Arkansas. Richard, former executive director of the Republican Party of Arkansas. Y'all, have y'all been missing each other?
Old colleagues from way back in the day.
We were at lunch the other day.
Exactly.
Let's talk about what's been going on up at the state capitol, the special session. The governor looks like he is going to get his highway plan as advertised, as he wanted. This governor so far seems to always get what he eventually wants. There's just always a little bit of a circuitous route in terms of doing it. Does the governor have this bird in hand, or does he have a party discipline problem, Richard?
Well, I think he does have this in hand. I mean, look, as the party grows, you're going to have differing views. And I think our party has finally reached the point where it is big enough that you're going to have maybe groups that are a little more conservative. I remember the governor way back in 1986 when he was running for the United States Senate, and he was a graduate of Bob Jones University, and folks thought he was too conservative. Now he's cast as the moderate. So I think he's the right governor at the right time. As you mentioned, the highway plan came out of committee today, and I think it's where he wants it to be. So I think he's going to be fine.
All right, Michael, what do you think?
You're right. He got what he wanted in the end, but it seems to be his office and himself is not very organized. You know, they came to this special session with competing bills and different philosophies and how we get the highway program passed. This seems like the second special session in a row where they didn't have a game plan, and we got to see the sausage getting made, and it was not a pretty sight.
We like getting it made. Come on now.
But I was just sort of shocked at the end of the day, you know, when Beebe was governor, people fell in line very quickly. He had a consensus before the special session began. We had the votes lined up. With Asa, it sort of feels like he's making up as he goes along, and some people in his own party don't want to listen to him or don't want to, give him the time of the day. So it's a big mess that he has at times.
I would go back though, in the Clinton years and in the Huckabee years, there was plenty of sausage making that was open to the public. I think Beebe was a little bit of an exception.
Yeah, Beebe was an exception.
And I agree. I do think he does have a very different style than Governor Beebe. Governor Beebe was, I think, knew where he wanted to go and went immediately. Remember, this governor came out of Congress, where you're much more of a consensus builder, and I think he has at times put out for committees to help reach consensus, reach decision. But, in the end, I think the bill that he wanted is the one that's going to come out.
Well, I agree you need to have consensus, but I don't think he showed leadership in terms of really corralling people, really getting people on board. It was just sort of, here it is, y'all, let's figure it out. And, you have to have consensus, but you have to have leadership. I think Asa kind of failed this session.
Right. So, first of all, I want to say I put a lot of pressure on the governor going into this month of May that this was going to be a defining moment in his governorship in terms of what happened with Arkansas Works, the fiscal session, and the highway bill. And I'll have to give the governor an A for accomplishment, maybe not an A for style points, though, in terms of that. What's been the surprising thing about this special session to you? Is there anything that kind of got on the call or something that worked out or didn't get on the call that you think was kind of surprising? Michael?
What was surprising to me is Asa Hutchinson's refusal to put the ethics reform package on the call. There was a good number of legislators who wanted to have this debate, and Asa claimed, well, it's really enough time to have this conversation. Yet we can talk about things like the Frank Broyles publicity. This is a serious piece of legislation that Asa neglected to put on the call that we need to get done, and he just refused to do it.
What do you think, Richard?
Listen, I would just argue that Frank Broyles maybe trumps ethics. I don't know. Frank's still very popular in Arkansas. Nothing really surprised. Again, I think I would agree with Michael. There were two competing bills, a Republican governor's bill and a Republican senator's bill for Republican senators on transportation. So again, you would think maybe there'd been a little more work on the front end, but look, this is the third special session. He's 3 for 3 in special sessions. He's now come out of a regular session. I think he's, again, maybe a different stylistic approach, but his approach has worked so far, and I think it bodes well for him going forward.
Because before we jump to some national stuff, Allison Williams named on Friday as his new chief of staff. You know Allison
I
Williams?
do.
Give me a little bit of background on what
Well, listen, a very long time staffer for the governor, then the congressman. I think there were a number of people that could have filled that role for him. I think it's someone that he has known, is very comfortable with, is trusted, and she will be very loyal to the processes that he wants to carry out. So I think it's a great choice.
All right, we got about 2 minutes here to run through some national headlines. I'm going to put these up on the screen here. We'll talk about these. These are some political headlines from some news sources around the country. Will anger among Bernie Sanders supporters hurt Hillary Clinton? Donald Trump won't have much time to tweet as president. Trump, maybe Hillary wants to keep her eye on Bill. Donald Trump's mapped the downside. These are the things that we see in the headlines. Michael, I'm going to let you go first. You pick any one of those headlines you want to and riff on it.
I love data and hard facts, and to me the map is a big problem for Donald Trump. At the end of the day, we have all these debates and Hillary and Bill Clinton and Donald Trump. It still comes down to 270 electoral votes. I mean, that's at the end of that, that's what it all comes down to. And Trump has a major problem. What states can he flip that Mitt Romney, that Obama won in 2012? It's a very, very narrow path. You know, there's not enough angry, white males to get him over the top. So I think it's going to be a fight, but I think Hillary has a better map than he does.
All right, Richard, you get the...
I would have taken the same category for $100. And for this reason, I think it is going to be an electoral map. These, people think of a national election, but it is a state-by-state election. And I think the last time I was on here, Roby, I predicted, hey, we haven't seen the Trump factor out yet. We've seen it. Millions and millions of people, first-time voters, have come and voted in the Republican primaries. I think they'll be there this fall. It is going to be a very wild, close election, and anything could happen. But I think Trump, Hillary, go to Vegas, you win $100, a lot of money if you know the answer.
Right. All right, he's Richard Bearden. He's Michael Cook. As always, appreciate you guys very much.